we're back on the air with the best of the Gary Russen program. Online on Spreaker. And we hope you're enjoying the program. Remembering last year, some of the great memories of our past year here on GGRB Online. And we're kind of going back and remembering some of the good old memories of 2016. And the next segment I'm going to play for you goes back to last year, as a matter of fact. Just after we came out of the repair job that we had to do on this computer. At the time, we were working on getting the computer fixed. It had burned out. It had the motherboard burned out. What happened was too much fuzz, or the fuzz that goes into goes in your bed, collecting dust. What happened was it caused the fans not to work inside the computer, and last year, and it burned out the motherboard. Is what happened. And then when we brought it back into the station, it worked. We had brand new computer, brand new stuff, and it was great to have it back. It was, gone for a while, and I was well missed. And I gotta tell you, it was something else to lose that computer for a month, because I was pulling my hair out, and my wife was getting upset at me because I was getting upset because I was off the air for such a long period of time. And I thought that a lot of people would forget about the program, and it was it was just missing it was crazy. I was going bonkers. I had to work on it. So I decided during that time that I was going to repair what I missed, and decided that I was going to spend time off the air, about a month and a half, in building up our program season. Now that's what I'm doing here. I'm kind of doing various things. I am running this program today, but I won't be on the air again till Wednesday. That gives me more time to prep programs. And I'm spacing my programs out a little bit, because this is kind of a semi-freestyle month. Okay? In other words, I'm just kind of riding it along. Okay? And I decided that I would do is take a month off the air. This is kind of off season. Okay, that's what that means, off season. And I take a time in which I am off the air for an off season. Only thing I do is maybe this program, the Gary Russen program, and maybe perhaps way out there, all my other programs, the podcast, like the last 7 days, our church services, that's our remotes, and any of the other programs. I decide to just do those only. No other programs on our schedule. And just kind of space them out so that the programs are on the air specifically within about a week of each other. This gives me time to work on the next program. Okay? And that is the whole idea behind that. And I decided that I would do it that way so as to make it more interesting, more freedom to put together programs, and that's what the whole thing was. So I'm not jammed, which happens quite often, and I did that quite a bit live because of the possibility that I would be, working on programs, and if I have to stop and do a live show, it was causing me to miss a lot. So I'm going to go to June 29th now, And we're going to go back into our YouTube for that. But I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of freestyle. I'm going to skip that segment. I'm going to come back to it because I didn't have it ready. So I'm going to play that part. But we're going to skip now to I'm going to skip over. I'm going to go skip over, and then I'm going to come back to that. I wanted to do something different in this because right now I cannot find that in time, and it's past the time I had planned to put it on the log. So I'm going to kind of go back to it, and I'm going to play it later. So what we're going to do right now, heading into the next hour, is I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit about a few things before we get started back into the program. So we're going to take about a few minutes and talk about some of the stuff we got planned for this program this year, 2017. Now, as I was telling you earlier, and I've said this before, I've been kind of disappointed because this program and other programs on GJRB have been, let's say, not getting the hits. I've been kind of trying to gain audience for all my radio shows because it seems like I'm not getting the hits I usually get on this show. So this year in 2017, I'm going to be doing something different with this show. I'm going to try to be lining up guests, okay, which I'm working on. I've been talking with my pastor. We're going to try to do some interview segments. I'm trying to do that. I'm also going to see if I can get a hold of some people who might know about things. Might go to our college or different parts of this area and see if I can line up some guests for programs. Because I'm not getting the show guests that I would love to get. I'm not getting the audience that I'm looking for and for broadcasting this program. So basically what I'm trying to do is trying to get listeners for the Gary Russen program. That's what I'm trying to do. And so far, working on it and trying to gain that audience back that I seem to have lost, I don't know, somewhere along the line between 2014 and now. It seems like I have not had the audience that I wanted for this program, and it's been kind of disappointing. And basically, I would like to get more. So what I'm going to be doing this year is gaining. Now, like I said earlier, I have this on my ongoing projects list to work on trying to see how I can get how the live YouTube will work. So people who follow me on the GJRB TV YouTube channel are going to see videos, and these videos are basically going to be test videos to see how this thing works. And I'll have that coming up, and I'm going to be trying to get videos. I'm going to try everything I can to gain an audience for this program because I do wish I could get it, and I really want to get some listeners because for some reason I'm just not getting them, and I'm working on that. And the only way to gain it is to try to see if I can promote this program as best I can, which I'm going to do. And you're going to see a lot of them Facebook followers as well, and I'll explain all that coming up. I'll be right back, and we'll continue the best of the Gary Russen program in just a moment. Stay tuned. Imagine one day tuning around your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows, back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land. GJRB Online. Still the What's Happening sound. America's Street Music is back on GJRB Bluegrass with the Grassgolds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too. Every third Saturday at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB. The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Russen program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news. True news. News that's not in the mainstream. On GJRB. From America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa. And welcome back to the second hour of the best of the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. This hour, going to make up some skipped ones. I'm going to talk about being back after a long break. Talk about that coming up. Also along the line, we're going to talk about how we had to get a brand new FM transmitter for our 9-foot signal because our other transmitter kind of conked out. I haven't thrown it away. I was trying to rewire it. I'll talk about that coming up. Also, a lot more, including I've got some more great stories. We're going to kind of dig in. I might even try to play some extras. But right now, we're going to kind of go back and remember some fun stuff because it's been a big year in sports, and we're going to talk about that this hour as we're going to remember the Cubs winning the World Series. That was a big thing in 2016. Cubs winning the World Series definitely was one of those highlights that, gotta tell you, that, wow, that takes me back, but we're going to talk about that one. We'll go back to June 20, we'll skip the one we skipped, and the one I'll do a little bit later came back from our June program. I don't know exactly where. June 29th, I believe it was. I'm not sure exactly. I had that one story that I was going to play for you that I skipped, and I can't remember exactly where it was now. I don't remember. I'm just going to skip it. We're going to go to we're going to go to the show. I'm going to skip that one. Back after 2 months on the air, I'm going to skip that one right now until I get it ready. And we're going to jump over to the one where I got I was waiting for a transmitter. I had another FM transmitter because the other transmitter we had for our 9-foot FM signal died. And I had to get a new one. And I was waiting for it to get in the mail. Also, my freestyle schedule changes. And this goes back to, I'm going to say, let's see here. Okay, where's that? Where is that? Freestyle changes. Where is that on that show? I'm looking for it now. I can't find it. Oh, here it is. It's from June 15th. Okay, this is from June 15th. Gary Russen program. So I'm going to kind of go into my tracks. I'm going to pull that one up real quick. And we're going to go to June 15th, Gary Russen program. Kind of run down here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. It was from our June 15th show off of part 2. Okay. All right, so that was June 15th off of part 2. And I was talking at that time, really was talking about at this time getting an FM transmitter. So this is a good piece, a very interesting one indeed. So we're going to do that one next, and right after that, I'm going to skip the gay bar shooting because I wanted to talk about maybe kind of, now even though I have it on my list and I have it on my script, I might not always play. If I find something better, I might pick it instead of that one, or I might just abort a piece because I felt it wasn't necessary to play it. The one where I got the computer back, I'll play that later, but I think right now I would love to play this piece where I was talking about the freestyle changes. I want to play the shooting from the gay bar in Florida. I'm going to play that one too. And then we're going to, right after that, talk about that boy who got dragged by that gator in Disneyland. So that's all coming up, back to back to back. Check this out. We're going to do this now, starting with that story that I was talking about, my freestyle schedule that I was talking about that time, which I'm not doing now. I'll kind of change that since this has been made. This goes back to summer, June 15th, in which I talk about this. Getting back so here it is. This is from June 15th. I got another Gary Russen program added next week, June 22nd at 2 o'clock Central Time, right here on GGRB, because this is Freestyle Summer, and I can add in some track shows at will. And at this schedule, I'm kind of liking it so far. And the reason for that is because I can kind of be flexible about things. My tight schedule, which sometimes I feel that I schedule programs too closely. As you will know, I've had that problem in past issues. So I decided, well, what I'm going to do is to change the program schedule a little bit, move things around, change the things to circumvent what I need to do. Because sometimes, folks, sometimes I have to change the programming around a little bit. So that's what I did today. You know how that goes. So anyway, like I said before, that's the reason why I decided to delay the program a little bit, because I felt that I had to get this done. I had to get some of my temperatures lined up for my automation and stuff like that, local stuff for my 9-foot signal. So, you know, yeah, even though I told you about my 9-foot signal, okay, what happened was I had on the 27th, May 27th, I was carrying the Cubs game on my 9-foot signal, and the wire broke on the transmitter, and I lost the transmitter. Now I'm trying to fix it, because if I can fix it, great, because I might still be able to use it yet. But I'm waiting on another 9-foot signal transmitter equal to that to come in the mail, and when it does, I'll be able to be back on my 9-foot FM. But for right now, I'm kind of like practicing my local stuff and synchronizing things. That's why I do that. So I decided to postpone for an hour and be flexible about it. So like I said before, I'm kind of going off the log today, and this program log I wrote is just a revamping of my May 18th show. All I did was kind of realign it, because it was kind of sloppy anyway. It needed to be realigned and fixed, so that's what I was doing. But as you will know, I do the logs over and over and over again until they finally play through without incident, and then I start a new one. But I try to do the log and usually put it away. I kind of store all my logs away, and then I redo them. So I kind of fix them up, because I got them on the computer and I can pull them up. That's what's great about it. So It's just that way. But anyway, welcome to. And that is what I was doing at that time, and I had to do that. I had to get a new transmitter, and now we're broadcasting on a new FM transmitter, and it's pretty cool. So we can do that. And later on in the show, I talked about a real sad story. Really bad. As a matter of fact, I think it was in the next part. I thought it was on this one, but I think it was on the next part, but I'm going to check it. He's a boy who, do you hear about this? This is really sad, actually. The boy got dragged by an alligator in Florida at Disney World. And sad story at that, because this boy perished in that incident. And the young man, real sad story. So this is from that same show, and this about how they want to eliminate AMF is purely an act of terrorism from the Muslims who have a bone to pick with the LGBT. Okay, let's see if there's this one. Hang in there for that. I don't know why they just want to. Well, another Sunday. Here we go. Shooting at a gay bar in Orlando. This is the shooting at a gay bar in Orlando. Yeah, this fuels the fire. This fuels it. And who says that? And what now? The left say the Christians are to blame. Why? Not here. We don't hate. Christians don't hate. We hate the sinner, but we love the sinner. We love the sinner, but we hate the sin. If my show in recent past has displayed that, I'm sorry. It would do. We love the sinner, we hate the sin. It is purely an act of terrorism from the Muslims who have a bone to pick with the LGBT community, who have a problem. It's a matter of fact, ISIS is taking full responsibility of this act of violence. Now, the wife of this shooter who shot up that gay club in Orlando, the wife of that shooter is also in trouble because she withheld information. She withheld information, crucial information. She tried to stop him from shooting. She tried to stop it, but she is being arrested for an accessory to the crime. She's guilty as he is, and I'll be talking more about that throughout the afternoon here. Well, yesterday was Flag Day, and I wonder why this holiday doesn't get much attention. Why is that? You have to wonder. What is up with that? Sad, really. And later on here, I got a song. This past Sunday, Carmen did a song on his concert. We went along with our church family. He did this song at a concert that kind of brought me to tears because of the situation and the question that I had. The fact that people disrespect the American flag. They step on it, they burn it, and I'm just tired of it. And sometimes, and maybe I'm wrong about this, folks, okay, but I sincerely think that it's really, really sad when we have to disrespect the American flag. This is the flag of our nation. And you ought to hear this song. It tells it all. It tells what the colors mean. It tells what the colors mean. And what the American flag means. What our flag is, takes a lot of punishment. I'm just tired of it. And believe me, folks, this song has no indication of racism in it. Does it talk about the flag being racist? There's nothing mentioned about racism. So listen to this, libs. Now listen to this, America haters. If you're offended, please check out. Please click out. You don't want to hear it? Fine. But for those Americans who are grateful to be living in this country that is free, Listen to the words of the song. Starts with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. One nation under God. We need to bring God back into America, folks. That's the problem. We've kicked God out, and that's why there's so much violence in the streets. That's why there's so much shooting. And I got a story coming up. Chicago, Illinois, over the weekend, apparently, and this was posted by a friend of mine in our church family, posted this story, about that there were 72 killings, and I think, I don't know what it was, something like 40, what was it? I have to look it up. Small amount, larger amount of people shot and killed, small amount injured. Over the weekend in Chicago, Illinois. Over the weekend. Okay? This is what's going on, folks. This is what's going on. We have this kind of stuff because there's no regard and no fear of God in America. Obama doesn't have a fear of God. It's just, this is what it means, folks. You know, not just the respect to the flag, but also the respect for the men who served this country for our freedom. The men who served this country for our freedom. That is also the problem. Okay? Oh, by the way, I reactivated the Skype. I did that just over the past couple of days. Skype, I haven't opened it up yet, but I'm going to do that here in a couple of minutes. But I activated the Skype so you can call me there on the show. Skype at Gary.Russen. And you can join me on the air, call me on my show. And all story here. The body. This is terrible. 2-year-old Nebraska boy attacked and dragged into the lake by an alligator at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. This is terrible. Now let's see. And members of the Orange County Police Dive Team located the boy at around 11:45, recovered less than 10 hours later. Boy turned over an Orange County medical examiner autopsy opinion, I guess. Authorities formally identified the body, but there is no reason to believe that the body was recovered and was not Lane Dennings noted. This is terrible, folks. This is something.
Deceased of 2-year-old identified as domestic violence. At about 3:30 today, we recovered remains of the 2-year-old from the water, and that body has now been turned to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. The family, I'm going to go ahead and identify the parents or Matt and Melissa Graves from El Paso. The 2-year-old is Lane Graves. I will share with you that the child was found, body was completely intact, and so at this time we will go through the formality of making informal identification. There's no reason for us to believe that the body that was recovered is not that of Lane Graves. There's likely no question in my mind that the child was drowned by the alligator.
We're going to continue to evaluate the evidence we have, and we're going to try to continue searching. We're going to make certain that we have the evidence.
Okay, you heard it. Sad situation there. Young boy who apparently was attacked, that way by getting dragged into the water in a nearby Disney park. Sad situation there. Disney's going to be working on something there. They're going to try to do some changes there. The staff at Disney, Jerry Dennings, stated the boy's remains been recovered at 3:30 Eastern Time. Parents identified as Matt and Melissa Graves from Elkhorn, Nebraska. They said this boy was dragged away and was identified as Lane Graves. Sad situation there, the little boy. So prayers go out to their family, and that's terrible situation there. And we pray for the boy's family, of course, in this situation. And that was a show from way back there in the summer, back in June, from our show in June. That was a sad story there about a boy. It was from June 15th, when a boy was dragged by a gator in Disneyland. That was a sad event there. Young man who perished in that event. Perished in Florida. That's a shame. Okay, we got some more stuff here. Great memories from the best of the Gary Russen program. I hope you're enjoying it. Coming up in just a little bit, we kind of moved some things around. I thought I would abort that one. Basically, what I wanted to talk about there was when we came back from the 2 months off, when the computer went down. Basically, I'm going to find that one for you, and I'll play it later in the program. Coming up, Bill Cardille, one of my all-time favorite personalities in Pittsburgh, lost him. Bill Cardille is a horror movie host in Pittsburgh on Channel 11. And at the time, I was a big fan of Chiller Theater, watched a lot on TV. And it was one of my favorite programs, is Chiller Theater. And on this past summer, I lost Bill Cardille, and he was a great personality, great man, big heart, and I'm going to talk about him next. And then coming up, we're going to be playing the segment that I told you about. Pastor Ron, last Saturday night, his message and his predictions for 2017 coming up on the best of the Gary Russen program here on GGRB Online. Before I do that, I want to remind you what we got coming up this week. The Gary Russen program, brand new for 2017, will be on the air Wednesday at 3 o'clock Central Time on GJRB. Got a great show lined up for you on that one, and we're going to be talking about some sad... this one really got me mad. A disabled teen got beat to a pulp, tortured by 4 teenagers. And these teenagers have been caught and arrested. But the story really kind of boils the blood. Because these kids did this to this boy. And really sad. I'm going to talk about that coming up next here on GJRB Online. So stay tuned for that. And we'll have that one coming up. And along with that, this coming out of our hour, I'm going to talk about John Hinckley. They will let him go. And we're going to jump to the fall when the Cubs won the World Series. We're going to go to November 2nd coming up, and we're going to bring back memories of when the Cubs won. Yeah. Cubs win the World Series. We're going to play back that one, because that is one we cannot forget. I think if there's anything that happened in 2016, it would have to be the Cubs winning the World Series, because that was a big event. So we're going to have that coming up. Also, along the way, too, we're going to remember some famous deaths, big stars, and play a few of those, and try to get that May one in where I got the computer back after about 2 months off the air. We'll talk about that one, and we're going to wrap it up with Donald Trump, and we're going to go to a more recent one. This is going to be for our December 6th show when Donald Trump. Anyway, Donald Trump's sexual affairs and some of the stuff. Stuff that they kind of slammed him for when he was still in the running. But here he is now. In 2 weeks, here on GJRB Online, we're going to do Way Out There, the show that talks about the strange, the bizarre, the unusual. I got a great show lined up for you on that one, including a couple of stories about paranormal. I know some of the Christians are going to like that. I'm just going to tell you that these are interesting stories of what they call the haunted housewives, something like that. Anyway, it was on last night's Coast to Coast. Very interesting because they do talk about not messing or calling demons on purpose. Anyway, we'll talk about that one. And also, I'm going to talk about Planet X. Now, that's the big story. We're going to talk about that. All coming up on the Way Out There show. And if something happens during the inauguration, no matter what I'm playing, no matter what I'm interviewing, no matter what happens, I'm going to break in if something big happens during inauguration. If something happens with Trump, I'm just going to do that. Okay? So right now, though, I'm going to give you the weather on the fives because we missed it last half hour. So we're going to give you the weather on the fives this hour. And we're talking about some storm system coming your way. Heavy rain, mountain snows in the west and this weekend. Flooding is possible in the central California coastal regions, including Oregon this weekend, with additional precip forecast next week. Meanwhile, winter storm warnings are out for the southeast, southern mid-Atlantic, with several inches of snow, up to a foot, in places you would never dream there'd be snow. That's, wow. And you never dreamed there'd be snow in these places, but there was. And I'm going to give you some temperatures across America coming up. So that's coming up in the next half hour on Weather on the Fives. Right now, though, if you're listening in the Clinton area, our current temperature is 16 degrees. Sun's going down. Our winds out in the west-northwest at 18 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is at 30.65 inches and rising. And once again, our current temperature at our Spreaker studios right now, 16 degrees at GJRB. And that's our weather on the fives at this time. And I'm Gary J. Russen. I hope you're enjoying the program. This is the best of the Gary Russen program, a review of the year of GJRB's Gary Russen program. We had a great year, too. I got to tell you, we had a pretty good year. And a lot of good things happening, a lot of interesting things happening, and a lot of things that did happen. So we're going to talk about those. But right now, we're going to go back to last year, July 22nd, to be exact. July 22nd, 2016. And at that time, a Pittsburgh personality that I always loved, his name was Bill Cardille, had passed away. And he was a great man. He had a great influence in my life, and his in all that. I gotta say, he was just a tremendous guy. So right now we're going to talk about that. Bill Cardille, gone, and this is a man that was tremendous. personality. He was he's the best. And well missed, gotta tell you, well missed. And here to bring you that next, Bill Cardille. So let's go to July 22nd to 2016. July 22nd, here it goes. July 27th, 2016. And we're going to go and play that for you. And this is Bill talking about Bill Cardille, and lost a great personality. Quoted it and put it on my Spreaker public somewhere, but unfortunately I didn't get around to it. So I'll play it later. But anyway, this man was fabulous. He was an incredible person. I really would love to have met him. He was the host of Chiller Theater in Pittsburgh for a long, long time. I can't remember. Well, I remember growing up watching TV in Pittsburgh. At that time, the call letters were WIIC Channel 11. Now, this man started. He was the first voice. The very first voice that signed on Channel 11 in 1957. And he was on the air ever since then. I don't know when he retired. I have no idea. That's my sister's dad, but an amazing man. He was a broadcaster all around. I can say he's a broadcaster all around because he was a disc jockey too. He used to be on a lot of Pittsburgh radio stations. He was on a station called WINZ. It was an AM station on 1360. And then he went on to, I think at the time, WJAS was a adult standards format on 1320. They just changed to a talk radio format last year. But he was all around. He did weather, he did sports. He was before Chiller Theater. He was the announcer for studio wrestling. And Pittsburgh was unique in that we had a lot of local original programming. Some went nationwide. For example, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which went nationwide from WQED. But this guy, WPXI channel, this guy could have went on. I mean, I remember him having a walk-on part on a soap opera. I believe it was Another World. Mistaken. I remember it straight. He had a walk-on part on Another World. He could have went to Hollywood. He could have probably been an actor. He probably could have been a pretty good star. He started out in 1968. He had a part playing himself as a reporter in the horror movie Night of the Living Dead, George Romero's film, and he played the part of the news reporter on there. He used WIIC Channel 11 in the movie. I showed you earlier when we were testing the video that the Channel 11 station wagon, I called it a truck, but it was the Channel 11 mobile unit at the time, station wagon. And it said WIIC Channel 11 News across the side of it. And that was Channel 11 when I remember it. Fond memories of Bill Cardille, and fond memories because my mother told me a story that always stuck in my head as long as I can remember. She stated that one time, probably way before she met my father, she had a date with him and the guy who would later become his ring announcer. So I kind of have a connection with